Hello and welcome to another edition of AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Erin Darling, and we are bringing you more movie news with insight into what it all means. Joining us today, as always, is AMC Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Good morning, Erin. Breaking news. I am now officially the voice of Rocket Raccoon. You heard it here first. It's going to be me.
Let's start that rumor mill going. And also with us today is AMC Movie News Editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Good morning. Erin, our first show together, lady.
I know. I'm really excited for this.
Me too. Bring it on.
Hey, folks, listen. I've been a liar the last couple of days because 2 days ago I said we were going to announce the winner of the Kick-Ass hoodies, and then I said we'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow came, which was yesterday, and we still didn't do it. But today I fulfill my promise to you. For those of you who know, we've got a giveaway that we're doing, these 4 amazing Kick-Ass hoodies, Kick-Ass 2 hoodies, I should say. Now, what we asked was for you guys to send us in pictures of yourselves striking a pose and holding up a sign with your Kick-Ass superhero name. Now, before I get to the winners, first of all, I should say, overwhelmed. We got hundreds of submissions from you guys, and so many of them were so funny. So just because I pick these ones, doesn't necessarily mean they're the best. They're just the ones that kind of struck me the right way. But you guys sent in so many great pictures. So before we get to the winners, I'm going to run down a couple of honorable mentions, okay? So here are some honorable mentions that did not win, but I thought deserved a little bit of love. First of all, we've got the Emerald Dragon. I love this guy. Look at he's got the nunchucks and everything.
Goggles.
So
The goggles
cute.
are great. Next, we have the Baby Bomber, which how I did not pick this one as one of the winners, I don't know. This next one is also one I wasn't sure how we didn't name as a winner. The Lens Flare.
I love the lens flare. Way to crush that one.
Obviously inspired by the great J.J. Abrams.
So good.
Then who can deny the power of Street Monkey? To me, what killed me, the mask is great, the clothes are great, the sign is great, the name's great. It's the pose.
It's the pose.
The pose is killing me. And then, of course, speaking of the pose, we had the Chubby Chopper, who's, to me, it was all about the name. Okay, so now let's actually get to our winners. And these are in no particular order, but here we go. Starting off first with the only one who did a really pure, legit martial arts pose, Amasia.
Amasia?
Who actually attached her picture to the bottom of her foot. I kind of dig that. Next up, I think this might be my personal favorite. Graffiti.
Graffiti!
I love graffiti. This, between the pose, the look on his face, the gloves he's wearing, the design on his shirt, and the name.
The name's awesome.
It's the total package. So graffiti. Next one up, how could I not pick the Campea Crusader? Now, I had Amy Rose arguing with me about this one. I said, come on, the dude made his own costume. He designed a logo. Look at his chest. He designed a logo and everything.
This is my response.
Yeah, and a little bit of kissing up doesn't hurt. But Campea Crusader. And then our final winner of the prize, I love this for the double entendre, I guess you could call it. It is the Balls Kicker.
Yes.
The name is great. He's got a soccer ball on
Very
his
kick-ass.
foot.
Very kick-ass.
It is a very, very kick-ass name. So once again, our winners are Amasia, Graffiti, the Campea Crusader, and the Balls Kicker. Thank you, guys. You'll be getting emails from us, and we'll be sending out you the Kick-Ass 2 jerseys.
Yay!
Again, thank you to everybody who participated. The stuff was so great. We had such a good time looking at all of them, so thank you again. And we have another great contest coming up very soon. We'll give you more information on that later.
Amazing. This is a great
You mean
job.
Amasia?
Yeah.
Amasia. I have to say that Campea Crusader though had the dishwashing gloves. That's very
Gloves,
kick-ass.
glasses, yeah, very kick-ass,
Very
right?
homage to Kick-Ass. I love it. The highly anticipated The Avengers Age of Ultron doesn't open in AMC theaters until May 1st, 2015, but director Joss Whedon is already giving us some details about the movie's main antagonist, Ultron. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Whedon said the following about the robotic bad guy. As a character, I love Ultron because he's so pissed off. I knew right away what I wanted to do with him. He's always trying to destroy the Avengers, goddammit. He's got a bee in his bonnet, and he's not a happy guy, which means he's an interesting guy. He's got pain, and the way that manifests is not going to be standard robot stuff. John, what do you make of these comments from Whedon?
I love these comments, and what it tells me is a couple things. It gives a little bit more context to the notion that, look, a lot of Marvel fans were upset when we realized that Ant-Man in the movie universe was not going to be the creator of Ultron, because obviously in the comic books that's who creates Ultron, and obviously that's not the case here. And they were suggesting it's going to be, well, more than suggesting, it was going to be Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark that ultimately creates Ultron. And the thing I really love about these comments is it gives us some context to that. I love that he says Ultron is a character that has pain. It's not just a mindless robot. And I think this gives credence to the whole notion that Ultron probably starts off as some kind of discarded and damaged and broken Iron Man technology with the Jarvis program in him that evolves and becomes what he is. He's in pain, he's hurt, and he's angry. And he's going to take that on the Avengers. Now, once again, I'm just speculating about that, but it seems to point to that. So I'm really liking what I'm hearing from this. Amy Rose?
Yeah, I mean, this just further cements Whedon as just someone I just love and trust. You can clearly tell he's taking this, not lightly. He loves this universe, he's a diehard fan of this universe, and he's going to treat it with the utmost care and respect to fans of the franchise and the new fans he's acquiring along the way. So this comment just, again, he's just one of the most humble, wonderful guys ever to chat with, and I love the Avengers, and I think that the second one is going to be great. And, I am a little disappointed that Hank Pym isn't going to be in it. I thought it would have been a really good way to expand the universe. But I'm excited for, what Edgar Wright has up his sleeve, and I think it's going to be great. But I really do trust. In Whedon, we trust.
I completely agree with you about the Hank Pym sentiments. I wish that he was in this movie as well. But what excites me about this is that Joss Whedon's saying we're not going to see the stereotypical robot stuff, which is interesting to me, especially because I don't want Ultron as the villain in this movie. I was so surprised when they announced it at Comic-Con. I'm not feeling it. So I'm really hoping that this not standard robot approach will reinvigorate my excitement about the second installment of this movie.
I hope so too.
As many of you know, Bradley Cooper has been set to produce and star in the upcoming project American Sniper, based on the true story of American military legend Chris Kyle, who has the most career sniper kills in United States military history. The film was originally supposed to be directed by Steven Spielberg, who recently backed out of the film, but now reports have surfaced that Clint Eastwood is in talks to take the director's chair. Now, Eastwood is a 4-time Academy Award nominee in the category of Best Director and won the award twice for Unforgiven and his 2004 movie Million Dollar Baby, both of which also won Best Picture. So, Amy Rose, how significant would it be for a director like Clint Eastwood to take on this project?
Clint's great. I mean, he's an icon at this point. He's a Robert Redford. I mean, there's so many names up there that have done everything: acting, producing, directing. I mean, he's incredible. But I will say that I did love his earlier work more than his recent films. I thought Gran Torino was a really solid film. Million Dollar Baby, Changeling was heartbreaking. J. Edgar was slower. I still thought it had a lot going on for it, mostly in the acting department. But let's not discredit Spielberg either. He's also a 2-time Academy Award, winner for director for Saving Private Ryan, which is a little more in this vein. So I'm a little disappointed that Spielberg has stepped away, because I thought that he would really do this film justice. But Clint Eastwood, hello. I mean, he's an icon. He's got so much talent, and I would like to see him go back to these kind of films. So I think he's going to be great. And Unforgiven's still my favorite.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when I heard the Steven Spielberg, because this story in and of itself just sounds like it would be a great one to see on big screen. And Steven Spielberg, knowing his pedigree coming out of a film like Saving Private Ryan, Spielberg can deal with this sort of source material and deal with it very well. At the same time, you're talking about, I'm not going to put him in the top 10, but one of the all-time great directors in Clint Eastwood, as Aaron mentioned, 4-time nominee for Best Director, winning twice with his movies winning. So obviously something there. And he's also got a pedigree. Like in somewhere between 2004 and 2006, he did Flags of Our Fathers. He did Letters from Iwo Jima. Mm-hmm. So he's very sensitive in dealing with this kind of stuff too. And I agree. I haven't been thrilled with his last couple of outings, but I have a feeling he's at an age and at an experience level where he was just like, you know what? I've won Academy Awards. I've got all the acclaim. I'm just going to do some of these more risky kind of pet projects that I want to do. And I believe he's working on that Jersey Boys movie now. And he tried to get another musical going. So you can tell he's a director who's not afraid to try something new, step out of the box, and work on some passion projects, because I'm Clint Eastwood, and I'm always going to be Clint Eastwood.
I'll do what I want.
And it doesn't matter what I do. And I kind of really respect that about him. So, look, honestly, if it's not going to be Spielberg, I love a name like Eastwood, so I'm all for it.
Do you think he'll have his empty chair on set as well?
Oh my God.
He'll probably avoid
Wow.
the
What do you think I
empty
should
chair.
do?
I almost forgot about that. I think this is totally in his wheelhouse. I'm excited to see him take over this project. And I love Bradley Cooper these days.
too.
He's getting better and better. Anyone that's seen Place Beyond the Pines knows how great he can be. And I'm excited to see them work together. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I think he'll be good in this role.
All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for buy and sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Erin's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down. And Amy Rose and I are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Erin, what do we have?
The upcoming Guillermo del Toro supernatural thriller Crimson Peak is aiming to go into production in early 2014, but it looks like they may have lost one of their main stars. It's reported that Star Trek Into Darkness actor Benedict Cumberbatch has left the film due to unspecified reasons. Now, Cumberbatch is the second major star to leave the film, as the Amazing Spider-Man actress Emma Stone also left due to scheduling conflicts. As of now, the film is still set to star Mia Wasikowska, Charlie Hunnam, and Jessica Chastain. So, John, buy or sell the departure of the Cumberbatch?
I buy it. I buy it. Keep a couple things in mind here. Guillermo del Toro films are notoriously off schedule, so that is going to cause scheduling conflicts. Not that that's what's happened with Benedict Cumberbatch. We don't know, but also we are 6, 7, 8 months away from them starting shooting. They have plenty of time to recast the part. This isn't going to hurt the production at all. So overall, I'm a buy.
Yeah, I'm also I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm really excited to see him continue. I think he's a great actor, great character actor. But I have a lot of faith in Guillermo del Toro, especially with the horror. I mean, Pan's Labyrinth remains one of my favorite films, and his creatures, everything. I mean, he just put so much love and detail. And Emma Stone departed a long time ago. This was months and months ago, so I don't think it's any cause for alarm. And Jessica Chastain, you had me at hello. She's one of my favorites, so I think it's going to be great. Not to mention Mia and Charlie. I loved Mia and Stoker, so I think it's going to be a really good film.
The show must go on without the Cumberbatch.
Yep.
I agree. I think it can definitely go on without him, though. A new poster for the upcoming comedy Las Vegas just hit the web. The film stars Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Kline as 4 childhood friends who head to Las Vegas for a bachelor party with a plan to stop acting their age and to relive their glory days. However, upon arriving, the 4 quickly realize that the decades have transformed Sin City and test their friendship in ways that they never imagined. The Rat Pack may have once ruled the sands, and Cirque du Soleil may now rule the Strip, but it's these 4 who are taking over Vegas. Las Vegas opens in AMC theaters everywhere on November 1st, so Amy Rose, buy or sell this poster for Las Vegas?
I'm a little torn, I'm not gonna lie. I will buy it because these are film legends. I mean, seeing them all together, but it kind of does sound a little Space Cowboys-y. It's like all these old guys going back together. It's like The Hangover, add 30 years to them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna turn out Rat Pack style, but you know, they're talented enough actors all together that I'm willing to give it a shot.
I am an above and beyond enthusiastic buy for this. I think this looks hilarious. The trailers have been fantastic. I love this poster, actually, because it's not just 4 floating heads. I mean, it's guys who are kind of conveying the nature of their friendship in just a still image, and I really like that. I also love, because I'm a little weird this way when it comes to design, I love the fact there's like 5 fonts in this poster, like 18 different colors. I really dig it. And I love the fact that Kevin Kline is in there.
I love Kevin Kline.
I love that
him
when
too.
you're putting Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, that you're including Kevin Kline. A Fish Called Wanda has to be considered one of the all-time great movies. I love that movie
great.
so much. I love seeing this guy in it, so for me, it's an overall buy.
But can't you guys, well, while we're talking about the poster, don't you think that it's a little bit generic? I mean, this image could be for a movie called Classy Weekend with Friends, 4 Gay Stepdads, or even Academy Awards After Party, and it could still be the same poster.
No, like I said, the thing I love about the poster is that in a still image, I feel like the whole nature and temperament of their relationship is conveyed. And like I said, I love the playfulness, the use of fonts and colors, and anything with a still image you could do. You could probably see a bunch of different movies in with one still image. Mm-hmm. But for me, this worked.
Well, let's back up to 4 Gay Stepdads. So funny.
Just saying. All right, next up. Yesterday, we showed you the first official image from the upcoming Paul W.S. Anderson film Pompeii, starring Kit Harington. And today, the first official trailer for the film was released. The film follows an enslaved Celtic gladiator who falls in love with a noblewoman on the eve of a massive volcanic eruption that destroys Pompeii, an event that also brings him face to face with the man who slaughtered his family years earlier. John, buy or sell the trailer for Pompeii?
I'm going to sell it now. Sell it with the asterisk included that I understand this is just a very early teaser trailer. It's not supposed to give away too much. And I'm still looking forward to the film. I'm still looking forward to this movie. I'm just going to say that as a teaser, this one didn't do it for me. It didn't get me any more. It didn't heighten my anticipation for the film. So generally for me, it's going to have to be a sell.
I'm also going to sell it. They were trying to do like a Jor-El, Russell Crowe kind of thing.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
yes.
With the whole narration. And it didn't work, baby. I'm sorry. And I love Kit Harington. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, and I think maybe it will be okay, but based on the trailer alone, didn't really excite me that much.
I agree with you guys. I wasn't that excited about this trailer because the first minute was just shots of volcanic debris and ash and things that you didn't know what they were until you got that wide shot about 1 minute in. The rest of the 44 seconds were pretty cool, but, you know, if more than 50% of your trailer is just close-up shots of things you don't know what they are, I gotta sell it too. Hold on to your nuts. The Squirrels are coming. A teaser trailer and poster have hit the web for a film that doesn't even have a director yet, called Squirrels. The film is being produced by wanted director Timur Bekmambetov. The synopsis goes like this. When a young man's estranged father is killed under suspicious circumstances, he returns home for the first time in years to get to the bottom of the mystery. Hoping to uncover some logical explanation, he instead finds an army of flesh-eating squirrels hell-bent on destroying everything in their path. So, Amy Rose, what do you think of this little teaser trailer for Squirrels?
No. Sell. Hell no. No. What? I feel like I just channeled my inner Tracy Morgan there. No. I just don't see a need for this. And even though they're chipmunks, but same kind of family, don't you touch my Rescue Rangers. Come on. They're good chaps.
I buy this.
No!
This looks awesome.
No!
They're like, this movie doesn't even have a trailer. It doesn't even have a director yet. It doesn't have a cast yet. But still, I'm by. I think this sounds brilliant. It's playing on the common becoming the terrifying. And I love that. I love that kind of notion. I love that whole thing. So, and the squirrels look great. They're so cute, and they're going to eat your children.
There's no director, so it shot itself, huh?
Yeah, basically. Well, they don't have a director yet. There's nobody on board yet. They just it's kind of like a sales trailer that they put out so they could get more financial backing so they can actually go ahead and produce the film. I think it's going to work, and this poster looks great. I love the tagline, hold on to your nuts. So,
well, that's the only part I liked.
So we are ready to go with this. Hey, listen, folks, there's a bunch of other items in the world of movie news that we really don't have time to go into one by one, but we want to make sure you're kept up to date. So this is a little segment we call the News Roundup.
So Jane Eyre director Cary Fukunaga has officially signed on to helm the upcoming film Noble Assassin. Noble Assassin aims to tell the true story of the recently deceased Robert de la Rochefoucauld, who served as an expertly trained member of the French resistance during World War II.
The Da Vinci Code and A Beautiful Mind star Paul Bettany is set to make his directing debut with the upcoming film Shelter. It's now being reported that both Jennifer Connelly, who is married to Bettany in real life, by the way, and Captain America 2 star Anthony Mackie will star in the film. I wonder how Connelly got this role.
Speaking of Captain America stars, Haley Atwell, love her, has joined the cast of Kenneth Branagh's upcoming Cinderella. Atwell let the news out on her Twitter account saying, I'm about to start filming Kenneth Branagh's new movie Cinderella, playing Cinderella's biological mother at the beginning of the story, the embodiment of goodness and maternal love. Haley will also be seen in the upcoming second Captain America movie.
Magic Mike and the newsroom star Olivia Munn is in talks to join director David Koepp's Mordecai in an unspecified role. She would star opposite the previously announced Johnny Depp, Ewan McGregor, and Gwyneth Paltrow. Wow, she's getting some good jobs these days, huh?
The upcoming Reese Witherspoon film Wild seems to have found its director, as it is now being reported that Jean-Marc Vallée will helm the project. With the dissolution of her marriage and the death of her mother, Strayed, I guess that's her last name, has lost all hope. After years of reckless, destructive behavior, she makes a rash decision. With absolutely no experience, driven only by sheer determination, Cheryl hikes more than 1,000 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail alone. Wild powerfully captures the terrors and pleasures of one young woman forging ahead against all odds on a journey that maddens, strengthens, and ultimately heals her. I feel like I need a tissue just reading all that. And that will do it for your news roundup. All right, folks, we've reached that part of the show for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question that you would like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Every day we pick out a couple questions to get on the show. Erin's got a few of them pulled out of the mailbag. So, Erin, what do we have?
Our first question is from Crash Rob Vogel, who writes, "Hey, AMC Movie Talk. Love the show. Been watching since I found it months ago. My question today came from yesterday's episode when you were talking about Guy Ritchie and his new projects. John, you mentioned some of your favorites of his, and I agree, but one of mine is RockNRolla. I thought the movie was really fun and very entertaining with a great cast and dialogue, and they left the movie open for a sequel with so many great actors, Strong, Butler, Elba, Hardy, etc. Any thoughts on a sequel either being made, or would you like to see a sequel? Did you like the first one?"
I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan, Lock, Stock, Snatch, obviously. And that's why I was really looking forward to RockNRolla, because it was Ritchie getting back to that kind of style. And I got to admit, I was disappointed by it. I didn't love RockNRolla. And a lot of friends of mine actually did love it and are really big fans of it. And that's great. And you're right, it has an incredible cast, which is part of the reason why I was so excited about it, not just Guy Ritchie. But for me personally, it just didn't hit home as well as it did for some other people. Amy Rose, what do you think?
I really liked it. I thought it was a great film. And, you know, Gerard Butler, he's hit or miss for me. He's definitely not one of my favorites, but I loved him in that movie. And they even had kind of a Pulp Fiction dance scene with him and Thandi Newton at that party. And yeah, Strong and Idris Elba, it's one of my favorite performances of his as well. Felt very Ritchie, it was edgy, it was cool. I loved that movie. I think that a sequel isn't really necessary, but I would watch it, especially if they got a Sherlock Holmes too. I think this one was even more worthy of a sequel, in my humble opinion. So yeah, I thought it was a really great film.
Our next question comes from Ricardo Gonzalez, who writes, "Hey guys, started watching your show a few months ago and I've been a huge fan since. So given the success of Mark Webb's amazing Spider-Man film that outclasses Raimi's in terms of story and portrayal of characters, the future of the sequels is looking pretty bright. So let's just say hypothetically 2, 3, and 4, which is being rumored to be a Venom spinoff, are just as successful and leaves fans extremely happy. Let's say at this point in time, Marvel somehow actually acquires the rights to Spider-Man. Would they keep Garfield's Spider-Man and place him into the Avengers team, or reboot the character again with a different cast and make a film for him in whatever phase they'd be in so they can swing into the next Avengers sequel?" What do you guys think about this?
A couple of things. Number one, let's just be very clear, that whole Venom thing is a rumor. It's just a rumor, so let's not go anywhere with that. And number two, Marvel will never get their hands on Spider-Man again. So now that we've got that established, it's still a fun question. What would Marvel do if they did happen, and it never will, if they did happen to get their hands on Spider-Man again? Despite the success that we see in the current Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man, I have to believe they would reboot it. And why would they reboot it? Not because they don't like what they've done already, but because they would want to be in complete control of where this character came from and how he fits into that Marvel universe that they have. They wouldn't want to try to shoehorn, like, okay, well, how do we explain there's been no Spider-Man up till now? Hey, if it's the same Andrew Garfield, how do we explain that he didn't show up when New York was being attacked by aliens? Ain't that where he lives? How do we explain? They could cure all that just by rebooting it, establishing the character the way they want him established, have his history fit into the current Marvel universe. It would just make sense. I would love to see Andrew Garfield in the Marvel universe, sure. And I love the way he's portraying Spider-Man. But it seems to me it would make a lot of sense for them to reboot it. That's what I think they would do, theoretically. Amy Rose, how do you think they'd approach it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll play into this fun hypothetical, but there's no way in hell they're ever going to get back. I mean, obviously, all Marvel fans want all Marvel properties back with Marvel Disney, but, you know, considering this is the only major big property that Sony has, and it's been so successful for them, and I think they've done a good job. I loved Raimi's films, and I love Mark Webb's films, and I think the sequel is going to be really good as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would bring Andrew Garfield for many reasons, some of which you've touched on, but also the fact that it would just lend itself to comparing properties. Andrew was much better in the Avengers than in this. That must have been because the script was better, or Andrew wasn't as good. And, you know, just if it's, you know, that having that factor that is seen across studios, I feel like that would just be lending itself to comparisons and feeling inferior one way or the other. Even though I think he's way better of a Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
he just really shows it. I mean, Spider-Man's a sad character. He's had a lot of tragedy, and I love his take on it. But yeah, I don't think they would keep him. I really want Spider-Man to be on the Avengers, but I don't think we're ever going to see that. So we should get rid of those pipe dreams now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you too. And I want to mention this here because I get a lot of people ask me, like, John, how can you say that Andrew Garfield, because I agree with you, that Andrew Garfield is better than Tobey Maguire was. And don't get me wrong, I love Tobey Maguire's
Tobey's
Spider-Man.
fine.
But here's the reason why I really loved it so much, and I keep going back to this because I know a lot of people don't like it when I say that the Amazing Spider-Man, this new one, was in every way better than the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I still prefer the second Sam Raimi Spider-Man. But the reason is because of this. Tobey Maguire was a great 1950s, 1960s Peter Parker. He was a great 1950s, 1960s Peter Parker. He embodied it perfectly. The problem is we now live in 2013. And I really thought what Mark Webb did and what Andrew Garfield did with their Peter Parker character was they did a great job of taking the core elements of who Peter Parker was, then taking that and transmitting it into a modern 2013 context. What would that socially awkward, really bright, kind of nerdy, but still a little bit on the outside, socially weird guy, what would that look like today? And I thought they did it. Now, you pointed out he shows the sadness of a guy who's gone through the tragedy, but at the same time, he shows the levity of a Spider-Man. And I really love the way they did it. And I think a lot of people, and I could be wrong about this, a lot of people who didn't like the new Spider-Man were basically because it's not what I was expecting. Well, maybe it's not what we were expecting, but it's what we needed. And I think that's what Spider-Man needed, and I hope he continues on this path.
And can we talk about how insulting the emo Tobey Maguire was in the third film, the dance scene?
Can we not talk about that?
It insulted me. I was just like, how is this actually happening? So yeah, hard to get that up.
But you guys, can I just say, if Marvel ever does acquire this property and reboots this franchise and makes another Spider-Man film before they make a Deadpool movie, I'm going to take my Sonic the Hedgehog shirt, turn it into a rope, and Spider-Man swing from the top of this building and just end it all right there, because that is devastating to me.
I don't know that we're ever going to see a Deadpool movie. Maybe an X-Force.
At least we get X-Force. I think
Maybe we'll see him in X-Force. All right, folks, that'll do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, while I've got you, before you do anything else, take a second and click on that subscribe button. Become a subscriber to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. Keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news, and of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show and our weekend AMC Mailbag show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, you can look in the description of this video, and you'll find links to our iTunes and our Stitcher Radio. I want to thank, as always, first of all, our lovely host, Miss Erin Darling. Erin, where can people find you online?
Twitter, Erin A. Darling. Oh, sorry, just went through puberty apparently right there. Sorry, guys. Twitter, Erin A. Darling. Facebook, Erin Darling fan page, and also on YouTube at Erin Ashley D. Thanks for having me, John.
Thank you for being had, and of course, the editor of movie news here at AMC Movie News, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach. Amy Rose, where can people find you online?
On Twitter and Instagram at Amy Rosie.
And most of all, thank you to you guys. Listen, the most important part of our show is absolutely not what we have to say. It's what you have to say. Make sure you jump on down to the comment section below. Leave your thoughts on any or all the topics that we covered here today. Agree, disagree. Most fun thing about being a film fan is debating about these things. Just keep it respectful. We read absolutely all of them. So thanks a lot for joining us. My name is John Campia for AMC Movie News. And until next time, bye-bye.